at the end of the street.
In Lusitano, I had my usual table, and I had to find somebody to invite them.
Most days, he would be hosting people, interesting people, of personalities.
At that time, the sports leaders of Asia were very high-standing people. From Indonesia was the Sultan, aristocratic, the ancient part of, and he had tremendous charisma. Very nice man, very, very nice, quiet. But he lunched with me in Lusitano. Another one was a descendant of the grandson of Meiji Emperor of Japan, Prince Takeda. He couldn't use his title in Japan from MacArthur, but he was a member of the International Olympic Committee, so they called him Prince Takeda. Very, very nice, older than I. When I went to Japan, he was in Rotary, and he took me to his clubs, and he lunched and dined with me at the Lusitano. He used to come. So this was the relationship we had in Asia.
His posture, Commander Sales' posture, is that of someone having been properly brought up.
Family was connected with Charmin. In fact, my great-grandfather had been consul general.
Naquela época há duas partes. Parte britânica e parte francesa, chama-se Charmin. Ele nasceu na Charmin.
Charmin means Samin, the face of sand. My grandfather had his own business in Charmin, and I have one of my earliest memories was passing his office. You know, he was in river shipping.
Também meu maternal avôzinho era comandante Arnaldo de Oliveira Sales.
My mother was the daughter, elder daughter, she was second, of a Portuguese army officer at the time of the monarchy.
Meus pais, ambos são portugueses. Somos quatro raparigas e três rapazes. Meus pais dizem que tem qualquer coisa tem ir perguntar o meu irmão maior, né? O Godfather, que ele diz Amém Jesus.
To his friends and family, he was known as Sonny.
Porque minha mãe viu este filme, Sonny Boy, e minha mãe falava muito pouco inglês, e ficou Sonny Boy, chamou-se Sonny Boy.
I'm upon my knees, Sonny Boy. I came to Hong Kong almost 9 years old, December 1928.
Meu pai trabalhava numa companhia britânica, Shell, e foi transferido em Hong Kong. É por isso que nós aprendemos a falar inglês.
I didn't speak English at all because I was in Canton. There was no schooling. I was schooled by my mother. There was a great advantage. My mother taught me from this very famous booklet, João de Deus. You know, all the Portuguese children were taught that. And I was taught even by my mother to pray and everything in Portuguese, because my mother at that time did not speak English. The Portuguese of Hong Kong, whether men or women, had the great advantage of going to school by At that time, pre-World War II, pre-Second Vatican, the parents had to put them into Catholic schools. And so they had the benefit of very good schooling by some of the top teaching orders of the Catholic Church, like the Christian Brothers, St. John the Baptist La Salle. It's a very reputable teaching order.
La Salle College in Hong Kong is usually regarded or called as a famous school or a so-called elite school. Partly, I think, because when it was founded in 1931-32, there were not that many schools or good schools on the Kowloon side. So when this one started, it was perhaps the first major Catholic boys' school in Kowloon side. It was also a very majestic-looking school, so everybody passing by were perhaps in admiration of it, of the school building. Has educated many people who have contributed much to society in Hong Kong, especially to the general community, social welfare of the community in Hong Kong, also in government, also in finance, also in general, yes. For the first years, in the 1930s, the first groups, as it were, I guess the two most famous would probably be Mr. Sales, Arnaldo Oliveira Sales, and also Mr. Hilton Chong Lin, because both of them were chairpersons of the Urban Council in Hong Kong, as well as other things.
I started in La Salle College in one of the lower classes, but I didn't meet Sonny Sales until I was in matric. And I was in the front row with him. He was sitting next to me. That would have been about 1936. I thought he was very bright, and he was more diligent than I was. We didn't know each other too well at that time, because he was 2 years older, my senior, but I did have a clear memory of him that he was very diligent and more precise in what he wanted to do.
We had honors and distinction. We were in the class, we were the youngest. And we enjoyed life. We enjoyed the games. We enjoyed playing pranks. We enjoyed being let off to go for swimming and all that sort of thing. I was very, very keen on play, sports, and so on at school, for the fun fellowship with my peers, playing the same team. Didn't mind whether I excelled or not, but I had fun. And we all had fun together and at school, and sport was part of our life.
Yes, I played football, but did not too often, and my fondest memory was then I was left wing, and when we moved forward towards the goal post, the ball, there was a kick from the side, and all I knew what happened was that something hit me on the head, and the ball went right into the goal. And that was the only goal of the game, and our team won.
Well, Mr. Sales' contribution was many and varied, but say one of them was that he became the president of our Old Boys Association. an active body, very active body nowadays, very strong. So he helped to build that up. But more so, personally, I think it was his personal, moral, and even physical presence, support, that all down through the years, whenever we had a school function or a major school activity or something, you could always rely on Mr. Sales to come, if at all possible, and he did.
Quando converso com ele, muito tempo falo de coisa religiosa, teologia e não sei o quê. Gosto muito de falar comigo porque ele disse que eu sabe mais do que outros membros da igreja. Não sei se justo ou não. Eu falo com ele de religião.
I was very interested in the social philosophy of the church. The papal encyclicals, starting from Rerum Novarum, right through to Quadragesima Annum and so on. And I kept reading. I even got Centesimus Annus, and last night even I was reading Faith and Reason, Fides et Ratio.
Sales, porque estava em seminário de Macau, ele fala português muito bem.
Porque meu pai diz que português tem que aprender a língua portuguesa.
I went to Macau Seminario during the time when Seminario was under the Portuguese Jesuits, and I had very, very great teachers. Two of them had been superiors of the Portuguese province in Portugal, because before they went to Macau, they were not young. One was my Latin teacher, the other one my philosophy teacher. Father Teixeira was my Portuguese teacher, that's why I'm so friendly with him.
During the war, he went to Macau. I went to Free China.
Porque Hong Kong, os japoneses ocupam Hong Kong e nós fomos transferidos para Macau.
I went to Macau in May 42.
Há muitas pessoas refugiados de Hong Kong e de China.
We couldn't stay any longer, you know. The government was evacuating us. In fact, I was registering. Tony Vatela and I sat at a table in the old Club Lusitano bar, registering the Portuguese names to be sent to Macau. They had a comissão executiva dos refugiados under Artur Lopes, and we worked at Santa Casa. Eventually, when I went to Macau, I was given a job there. In the Comissão de Refugiados, they had a number, not too many, they had a number of people doing all sorts of clerical work, and people who had things to deal with. The British consul went there too. You know, and when I came back from Macau in I think September, October 1945.
Well,
I came back in a junk, you know,
yes.
Just after and so on. And many of us came back from Macau in a junk. St. Teresa's had a very prominent location corner. There wasn't that flyover around. And when Edith and I got married there in 1946.
Oh yes, my wife knew her too, but in fact, she came from a well-known Portuguese family, and she was. I think she was more placid in nature, and I think sometimes she helps to keep Sonny in check.
We've been in the same house since 1953 August in Kadori. Same house, tucked away in a blind alley. Only 6 houses, very pleasant. Small house, but we liked it. Very nice house. For us, 2 persons, plenty of space.
He went back to my father's old firm, Arnold Trading, because my dad was an executive there, so he resumed his duties as an assistant. He took care of the firm after my father retired. Until today, the office is still in his name, and his workers are still there.
In Hong Kong land, the managing director at the time came over with the manager to talk about the renewal of my lease. And he said to me that I must be about the longest standing tenant. And I said, I couldn't be, and I named some of the others. Say no. I said Jardines. He said no. Jardines had their own building. But you must be about one of the longest-standing tenants. So I wasn't going to argue the point. And I said, well, if you counted my father, perhaps yes, because I remember as a schoolboy going to his office with him, and he was in Queen's Building, the old Victorian building with a veranda facing the Staff Ferry. His father was there in 1932. So I said then, well, to think of the rents that we had paid Hong Kong land, I could have bought a floor in the Princess Building instead of renting a room. There you are.
I didn't meet up with him until after the war was over, the Second World War was over. And that was in 1952.